Hello, Father Niko. Happy beginning of Lent.
Thank you, Thomas. It's good to be here.
And hello, OCF. Also, happy Lent to you as well. This is my favorite time of the year. So I'm excited that today we get the opportunity to learn a little bit about tone three.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So I got to start with obviously the basic beginning question. When do we use tone three?
You know, obviously, every week I say we use it every eighth week. We have these cycle of tones, so we're using tone three about as much as any other tone. But when are the times we hear third mode that jumps out at us as like, hey, this is a big, a season of tone three. The big one I think of is, leading up to Christmas, we chant I Parthenos Simeron, or today the Virgin gives birth to Christ. That hymn is in third mode, right? So that's going to be the Kondakion hymn that you'll hear chanted in church when? After the entrance with the gospel, right? So that's one of the big seasons of tone three, where you'd hear it in the Divine Liturgy every week from November 21st to until Christmas, and actually after Christmas too. So that's one big season of tone three. Another one is in preparation. If you come for Orthros, you'll hear a whole lot of tone three leading up to February 2nd. So right after that first season comes actually another season of tone three, when we're chanting the Katavasias, chanting the canon of hymns for Ipapandi, for the presentation of Christ in the temple. That set of hymns in third mode is one of my favorites.
It looks like we just missed it then, just barely, but depending on when you're watching this.
For sure. Though it's worth adding another one, right? When else are we going to hear tone three regularly? Like what other hymn is folded in? And actually on Fridays during Great Lent, we're going to chant the salutations, we're going to chant ultimately the Akathist service. And in that service, you're going to hear chanted in third mode, Tinoreotita in Greek, or Awed by the Beauty in English, right? Tinoreotita tis partheniasu. So that's another third mode hymn that you can hear now through the next, 5 weeks.
That'll be good to look out for whenever we're all in church or watching.
That'll be a good one for right now to listen for.
What would you say is the common descriptor of tone three?
So, I mean, I'm going to use like my own interpretation right now. The way I see tone three is beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful tone. It's a relatively simple tone. I'd even go as far to say it's a very simple tone. But it's got kind of a sing-songy characteristic that ends up just being very beautiful.
And I know you gave some before, but could you give us some more examples of other tone three hymns that people would be familiar with?
Yeah, I mean, those ones are definitely the big ones. You want to know Tinore Otita. If you're trying to get into chant, that hymn, first of all, it's a prologos hymn. It's a hymn that is a model for other hymns that are written. So if you were to come to Sunday Divine Liturgy, you're going to hear for Orthros, you're going to hear a ton of tone three hymns that are modeled after Tinore Otita. So that's the one. Learn that one. Once you've gotten that one down, learn the Katavasias for the presentation of Christ in the temple. One, they're beautiful. Two, if you're an IV person, if you went to Ionian Village, you're going to know, right? Theotokei elpis pandonton Christianon scepe fruri philatetus elpis ondasis. Right? You're going to know that from camp. It's short. It's easy. It gives you a very good sense of third mode.
And that, especially if you went to Ionian Village, like you were saying, every night, having that ingrained in you, just taking that and applying it to new tone three hymns that you encounter. I feel like it's honestly easier than it's less daunting than you'd think it would be.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, If you find a good recording of the Katavasias in third for the presentation of Christ in the temple, and I know there are some on YouTube, some great ones on YouTube if you just search around. Once you get those in your head, I mean, that the tone you will be comfortable in third mode.
It'll flow out of you.
That's right. That's right.
I love that. And what people also love are learning the progressions of each of these tones. What would you like that transition?
Yeah, it was a great transition because people truly love it. They're like they're sitting there going like, what notes are primarily used in third mode?
Of course. We've gotten some comments on that. So what would you say are what's the tone 3 progression?
One of the things I like to do is hold Isun, hold that bass note, right? It was something I started with before I really started chanting myself, as I learned how to just stably hold those bass notes. And there are 3 notes you'll see almost constantly in third mode, just bouncing back between. And that's ni, ba, and ga. So, for example, like if I'm chanting the Katavasias for Ipapandi, right? Chersonavi soto con pedonilio sepepole sepote ositijos jarepayi ekatero cenidor. Right? So you have that same ga pa ni, and it just kind of keeps doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an example of what third mode really sounds like.
So if somebody was interested in practicing tone 3, how would you suggest they go about that?
I mean, you're really gonna want to practice a few basic hymns. You're gonna want to know the resurrectional hymn of the tone, right? In third mode, that is a useful hymn for learning the bread and butter of third mode, right? So you want to know that. You want to know Tino Reotita. You want to know that hymn because it's different than typical third mode, but it's such a commonly used hymn that you really want to have that internalized. After that, learn the Katavasias for the presentation of Christ in the temple. Make sure, the other one, Ipartheno Simenon, make sure you know it. That one is very common. It's pretty easy to learn too.
Perfect. I think that's a concise way that we can approach this. Once again, Father Niko, thank you so much for helping us appreciate another one of our church's beautiful tones. Thank you to all of our viewers for watching another video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go join the OCF Discord, where you can be connected with tons of other Orthodox Christians of the college age. Follow Father Niko Tzetzis on TikTok. Throw that down there too.
Right. Toss that in there.
Of course. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great week.